happy, dude. I think I'm dying here, man.
Welcome to the 3B Video Deep Cut Podcast.
Watch a few movies, take a few notes. It was fun.
Aw, yeah. It's that time again for another bi-weekly podcast with your hosts, Rotten Roger DeMarco and...
It's got a death curse. This is evil.
Yes indeed. It's got a death curse, god damn it. Dude, I am in a great mood. I'm feeling awesome. It's a good day, and
It's a good day. Yes, it is.
Yes it is. Fear Street, the first episode just dropped on Netflix, which I have yet to watch. I'm going to watch tonight.
I haven't
but
either.
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling nostalgic. I'm feeling the summer vibes, the heat, all the good stuff, and which is why we're where we are for the next, 11, 12, 47 episodes? I don't even know.
Well, the next 12 episodes, which means the next, 24 weeks entirely. So we're going to take essentially half of a year, and we're going to do something that I've been pushing to do for a while. I like when some of my podcasts that I listen to do it, but they decide every once in a while to tackle a franchise. So we're going to finally do that. We're going to tackle our first franchise. So we're going to, one by one, each episode for the next 12 minimum, we're going to tackle Friday the 13th.
I had to do it, even though I'm not Harry Manfredini, but
Jiffy, pop, 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 pop.
it's cat, meow, 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 right? So,
I thought it was pan, cake. Ah.
Get that out of my goddamn face right now. I see you've been starting to get tagged a lot in that the Goldberg Freddy Krueger thing. That's your pan.
It is. It is officially mine. It's like, oh, here it is again. Goldberg in the middle of the Elm Street VHS lineup.
But Evil, did you see that though? Should I send it to you? Did you see it?
I heard about this thing, but I may not have seen it. You may need to send it to me along with everyone else under the sun.
Please send it again. Good Lord.
I'm gonna frame it and put it behind me. I think I should just order all those VHSs and make that display on the setup behind me for the live streams.
I think you should. I
think I should too.
We think you should.
I don't have to tell you anything, Dick Brain.
Dude, yeah, I'm feeling good, and I want to give a little, for the new people listening to us who may just stumble upon our podcast because we are covering Friday the 13th.
Welcome.
Yes, welcome, and this is my baby. This is my franchise.
This is.
Evil is a big Elm Street guy, but make no mistake, he is just as big of a Friday the 13th guy. But I mean, I've earned my 5 years, 6 years. We backed the summer camp game before it became Friday the 13th. We met a lot of our close friends through the Friday the 13th game. Friday the 13th in general has sort of been this, catalyst of our relationship. Like we did the masks, we made custom hockey masks for, a few years. We did all of these things. And now here we are, and we get to talk about the movie that started them all, which oddly enough, it just did have its 40th anniversary when they released that box set, correct?
I believe so, and I think just because it'd be fun to do, there's 12 movies in this franchise, 10 proper. We have the versus, and then we have the reboot. But I feel to really do this justice, we should do 13 episodes, and the very last episode, we should just take that whole episode and cover the video game, because that thing was as much a part of our lives for the past few years as anything. And even this past week, I was watching the Slash and Cast guys post a video about some of the things that we could have gotten, if lawsuits hadn't gotten in the way and fucked things up for us. Because, man.
It's so sad.
Oh, so much. There's so much stuff that they just, within the last week, they're like, hey, look at this thing we almost could have gotten. It's like, oh my gosh. So we'll make it, fuck it. We're going to make it 13 for 13 for Friday the 13th.
We're going to do that.
But you can't do all those unless you go all the way back to the beginning.
Yes, or well, present day. If you want to be technical, it takes place in present day.
This takes place today.
Yes, right now. So for the folks at home, how we do this, Evil, why don't you give them a brief plot synopsis of the film, and then we'll just fucking get into this.
Well, a group of youths are gonna open up this camp that's been, closed down for a number of years due to a couple of the former counselors. They got murdered there. They got murdered. A couple of fires, all kinds of shit. So they closed this camp down. A kid drowned out there and shit. But these kids, they're gonna reopen the camp. See, they're gonna reopen the camp regardless of all the people in town telling them, "Hey, don't be opening up that camp. There's been murders up there. There's been fires. Don't do that shit." But they say, fuck that, we're gonna open this camp up because we do what we want. And all of a sudden, one by one, these fucking kids start getting killed all over the campgrounds. And then we find out, holy shit, here's this lady coming in, she's gonna help save the day. Cause it's fucking Pamela Voorhees. What the hell is she gonna do? This is a Jason Voorhees movie, right? Fucking no way, wrong. This is the swerve, bro. The swerve where Pamela Voorhees, this middle-aged woman's been the one killing all these fucking kids all over camp. And she's here to finish the job with Alice. Her ass is gonna get sliced up 6 ways from Sunday if she has anything to say about it. But whoops, not today, son. Not today. She may be able to have one over on the old bacon man, but Alice has got her number. Slices her head clean off, and all of a sudden she's got Italian knuckles reaching for that severed head that ain't there no more. But she goes out on the lake. Everything is all done, and she's yanked out by some hydrocephalic nut job that's dressed up like a little kid, but you can see his dick.
He's got a pickle dick.
And then she wakes up in the hospital, and they're like, "The fuck happened? All these people are dead." And like, "Did you find a boy?" And they're like, "What fucking boy?" And they're like, "The fucker's still out there, waiting."
Oh man, yeah. And admittedly, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna say it right now. This is probably my least watched Friday the 13th film.
Oh, you're not alone there. That is 100% my least watched one. Is the first one.
Get it out of the way. It's not a bad film. I'm just gonna say, when I want to watch Friday the 13th, I want to watch my main man Jason doing what he does best. Now, That's definitely not to say that this is a bad movie, because it's not. And it did take what made Halloween so fucking popular and then splatterpunked it the fuck up. So, you give credit where credit is due. Halloween might have kickstarted a slasher subgenre, or, Black Christmas, wherever you want to go, however you want to debate how it started.
Halloween lit the fire, and then they're like, "That's a pretty good fire. We should do that fire too." And that's essentially what we did with Friday the 13th. And much like how Halloween was supposed to be like, "Oh, we're gonna do like an anthology with this and do different stories with Halloween," that was essentially, I think, what was going to be the storyline for Friday the 13th. When they started with the sequel, like, should we just do another crazy Friday the 13th story, or should we follow up this character of Jason? So it just shows that Michael Myers and Jason, people like a slasher icon. If you just can find the right formula to make a good slasher icon, fuck anthology shit. We want more of the same.
And it doesn't take much. Yeah, I was going to say, like, if you look at it, like, it's when the franchise started to, when they started to be like, well, let's take them out of the lake. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do that. That's when the diminishing returns started to happen. As long as they just kept him at Crystal Lake, the formula is there. The movies perform well, and they just got more and more fun. Like, you get all the way up to Jason Lives, and it's like, oh, okay. Like, he's an icon now. It's fun. And you just go for the ride.
Yeah, this is if Halloween is the franchise of Choose Your Own Adventure, Friday the 13th kind of is a roller coaster of up and downs of like what is a super pop, yes, the tone, what is super popular, folks, and then what isn't, and then all of it is again, then not. And then you get the underground ones that don't get any love, and all of a sudden now they do have love. Like Halloween 3 is much like Friday the 13th Part 5, like got really drugged through the mud for a long time, but now more and more it's getting to be a cult favorite of the franchise. And then you got
damn Skippy.
Now we just need that kind of revelation for Part 8. We need the Part 8 hate to stop.
Yeah, but you're not talking about Halloween 8. You're talking about Friday 8.
Yes, I'm talking Friday. I don't even know which one is classified as Halloween 8 because that fucking franchise is all over the place. But you can more easily draw a straight line in Friday the 13th. The only thing that's fucked up there, much like Nightmare on Elm Street, is the timeline. As if you were to follow like what the year is supposed to be like. I think by the time you get to Part 7, officially it's supposed to be in the early or late 90s. Early 2000s.
Yeah. It's shorts.
Yeah. Not a single cell phone in sight. No Alien Ant Farm or
big ass hair.
Weezer playing. Yeah. No Limp Bizkit t-shirts, nothing.
Oh, that's fucking perfect. If you want to destroy my sweater.
That's what should have been all over the place. Maybe somebody can go back and put that in on one of the shirts, like put that in on some of the t-shirts of a Limp Bizkit design. Someone's got to be wearing Tool.
Oh,
what's his name? Star Mummy's got to be wearing a Tool t-shirt.
That's perfect. Mm-hmm. But okay, so as far as the first movie goes, lawsuit, horse shit aside, with Victor Miller.
Still going on. As of this recording, still going on. That's been it's been a little over a year total.
I think 2 almost. Like
2?
It's getting ridiculous, man.
Yeah. No end in sight either.
But this was the Sean Cunningham vehicle. I'm gonna call it like it is. It's Sean Cunningham being like, we need to capitalize on the Halloween
hoopla
hype train. Yeah, cash in on that. Take that formula, crank it up, couple more tits, a lot of gore. Holler at that Tom Savini guy, that guy that did the fucking Dawn of the Dead. Holler at that guy, get that guy, and have him just fucking kill everybody.
You think you could take off some heads and shit?
Yeah, that's
slice
exactly
a few throats.
They called him up. He pulled up in a little car with a bunch of fucking latex and props, and was like, "All right, I'm gonna start, killing everybody."
I hope that was the case. I hope he was driving like a fucking Yugo with a U-Haul attached to it, just with a fucking treasure trove of murder weapons and masks and shit in the U-Haul. Like, oh, everything is in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's probably exactly how it went. Pulled up to Camp Nobi Bosco and was like, I got the fucking drum of liquid latex and the fucking got a fucking some alginate. We got to get Betsy Palma and make a copy of a head. I don't know why I'm doing a voice like that for Tom Savini, but
because we're doing that for everybody because the debate that some have is silenced. It is official that Friday the 13th is a Jersey movie.
Oh, 100%.
All of these are Jersey movies, so we're just channeling that Jersey vibe and atmosphere when we're going to be thinking of anyone filming this. It's just a bunch of Jerseyites up there making this movie. Like, you got 14 gallons of blood. You think that's enough? I was like, I don't know, man. We got at least 3 throats slit, and we got to take that one fucker's head off. I hope that's enough.
Bash that bitch in the face with an axe. Which, here is the real star of this movie is the effects in the forefront, right? Like,
I'd say it's a mix. I'd say 50-50 between the effects and the score.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, yeah. Regardless of what you think about his scores in later films, because he kind of just duplicates himself.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, and he even reuses it in other films like Slaughter High and House and things like that. But if it wasn't for the score, it wouldn't be nearly as scary.
Score and gore, man.
Yep, score and gore. That's perfect. We need a shirt that's score and gore.
What makes a good horror movie? 2 things, brother. Score and gore.
Yeah, and then on the back it's like tits.
Tits are good.
Yeah, tits are good. Balls are bad, tits are good. But, that really is, in my opinion, like what makes this movie stand out so much. And every interview you see with Tom Savini, he's a broken record because he's told the story so many times, but like the whole thing about using a real axe to hit the light.
Yeah, to establish weight.
Mm-hmm. All of that stuff is done expertly, and it's like Cunningham and his crew trusted Tom Savini implicitly to set up and execute the gags without tipping their hat too much, and they're done so well in this movie that I actually feel like later in his career, Savini didn't duplicate effects as well as he did in this movie. Like some of them don't look as good as the stuff in this movie.
I don't know. I feel like he hit his like peak stride with his Night of the Living Dead. Like he is using all his effects, and man, does he definitely utilizes that. Give us a shot with a real object, and then the fake object, real object, fake object, to make you believe what you're seeing.
In Night 90, it was John Volich and a bunch of other guys. They worked under Savini, so I mean, he technically wasn't. He probably never touched a makeup brush once.
Technically, yeah, but I would still say that's he's like, do that shit right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, don't be giving me no half-ass bullshit.
You're doing it all wrong.
But this movie is the quintessential story, which got duplicated millions of times in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Of, people, young people, away from any sort of authority, on their own, left to their own devices, and just how poorly they actually fare in the real world, I suppose.
Yep, you just get a picking off one by one story. And if Halloween was the ascension to the top of the mountain, it's right there with Friday the 13th. And like, all right, we're at the top. We're going to start descending. And descending, you're like, all right, graduation day, New Year's Evil, fucking...
the Prowler,
My Bloody Valentine, everything else.
But, that is true. Pretty much everything else, and there are some gems.
Oh yeah, those are fine. There's nothing wrong with the downside of the roller coaster.
Damn right. Yeah, that's when you get the most adrenaline, right? So, this movie it paved the way, and like I said at the top of this podcast, admittedly, it's my least watched. But
it's our least watch. You can't. Oh, yeah. You're not bearing that cross alone, because it is also the one I get to the least amount of times. Just because this, unlike the rest of them, minus part 5, this is entirely a whodunit. So you're the whole time you're not like the rest of the movies. You're like, it's Jason. We're gonna see Jason doing some shit. This is the movie where you're like, you just see a set of hands doing all the killing. You're like, who the fuck is this? Who's doing the killings? And you don't find out until the very end. It's like, oh. It's this person.
It's a little old lady.
Yeah. Little unassuming Pamela Voorhees.
Which, that's another great story about them casting Betsy Palmer and her being like, well, I didn't think anybody was going to see this piece of shit.
Yeah, she just needed a new car.
So I just fucking did this movie, and, here I am. And Tom Savini's showing me pictures of, Ari Lehman's dick, and I'm thinking, well, who's this?
He's a what?
He's a mongoloid,
Oh, my God.
A waterhead.
Like, just get me a fucking drink, Tom. Oh, God, this is the longest 10 days I've ever had in my life. If I didn't need a new car, I wouldn't be doing this low-grade bullshit. This is bullshit, Tom. No one's gonna see this fucking shit. I don't want to do this shit. This ain't gonna ever come of anything. I swear to God, if I have to deal with this the rest of my life, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you.
And, wouldn't you know it, this movie was responsible for the resurgence of her career. Granted, she didn't get to reprise the role, other than she did a floating head scene for the second movie, which we'll get to in a couple weeks. But, they didn't have her reprise her role in Freddy vs. Jason.
Which is a crime.
Even though I believe they approached her
Yeah, I know.
And I think even in 2003, she was like, I don't really give a fuck about this franchise. You know?
I'm 90 fucking years old. I don't fucking care about your franchise bullshit. What are you gonna do? You can't even pay me enough. I'm not gonna live long enough to enjoy this shit. So fuck you, fuck all the fans, fuck you, Swift, fuck you, Shannon. Go fuck each other out somewhere else. I ain't doing this shit. I probably bet it was more... Much. I have a feeling I bet she would have done it. I feel like that was totally a New Line Cinema cock blocking thing, just like with Kane Hodder.
Of course, you know, why not? Yeah, you know, get a couple of suits in a room going, well, do we really need Kane? Do we really need Betsy Palmer? Shut up.
If you look at Kane's movies, they're all diminishing returns with each movie, so clearly Kane's not really making money for this thing, so who the fuck wants to see Kane in this shit?
God damn it. And that was, why can't I think of his, is that Jeff Katz?
Yeah,
Jeff Katz was responsible for that. I used to love Jeff Katz, and I found that out, and I was like, hey, what's your deal?
I don't know if he's like, he may have been a finger on the hand, but I don't know necessarily if he was the one to make the call, but I know he was the one that let the cat out of the bag of like, oh, this is why they did not cast him to be Jason, is each movie he did, technically of his 4 movies, had diminishing returns each time, so not turning a profit, they're not going to do it. Man, if only Freddy vs. Jason, I know we waited 10 years for that movie to come out, but if that had just taken another 10, it would have had fan control like they do now. Like fans, It is alarming how much fan control people have now over what is coming out in movies as opposed to then, because we didn't have no control then. We got whatever the fuck they gave us.
Yeah, you would see it in Fangoria or Starlog, and you just had to deal with it.
Yeah.
Now it's like a trailer gets released online, and people are like, I don't really like the way Sonic looks. 7 months, fix it.
Sonic's eyes are all wrong. You gotta fix Sonic's eyes. His eyes are fucking creepy. It's gonna scare the kids. We don't need that shit.
And then they don't even watch the movie. Those motherfuckers.
Like, you gonna go see it like, nah, I'm not really a fucking Sonic guy. I'm more like the Mario Brothers.
But they want to complain and get their voice heard. But, you know... not only does this movie have Betsy Palmer, but you mentioned it, you know, Betsy Palmer does take out the Bacon Man, pre-fame Kevin Bacon, but right before Footloose, correct?
I believe so, because he hadn't quite hit yet, and
right. And Animal House. Animal House was first.
Yeah, he has such a bit role in Animal House. His big role in Animal House is being bent over and hit with a paddle. but in this one, holy Jesus! If
Speedo, dog.
Yeah, if you've not gotten a Blu-ray or 4K copy, when you pick that up, I mean, back away from the TV a little bit, because you're gonna see the Kevin Bacon's bratwurst just smuggled into these blue
the
shorts.
Bacon strips.
That's not a bacon strip, man. That's a full-fledged bratwurst. That's a foot-long sausage. It's obscene. Like it's dick
in the face.
It's Bowie Labyrinth obscene. How much his crotch is right in your face.
And he does not make it. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen this movie from 1979.
That's the other flip of that coin, is when he gets killed, is back then on DVD it still looks pretty fucking good.
On VHS it looks legit as fuck.
You get into 4K Blu-ray, and you're like, oh, I can clearly see where his real neck ends and the fake neck begins.
It's like gray. It's like a weird ass. It's not even a real color. Like, what is that?
What the fuck's wrong with his neck? Holy shit, a goddamn arrow sticking out of it.
And that's the other thing. I'm going to go ahead and repeat the story, even though Tom Savini repeats the story so many times.
Hey, maybe someone listening has not had the pleasure of chatting with Tom Savini, so we're going to tell his story for him.
I'm going to go ahead and just hit play on the Tom Savini monologue. But so basically, the way that trick is achieved is there's Kevin Bacon sticking his head through a bed, and then there's a fake neck and torso that they have halfway covered up with a blanket. Then, from underneath, Tom Savini will stick this arrow through this neck appliance that also has a blood tube rigged to it. Then they just hit this pump, and it's supposed to shoot the blood out. Well, when they did that, it was pressurized, and it blew the tube off of the pump. So Tom Savini's buddy Tasso, who was underneath the bed with him, grabbed the tube, put it in his mouth, and blew into the straw. And that's why the blood does that really high pressure, like, gurgle out. And he tells that story constantly. And to be honest with you, I never really get tired of hearing it, because I'm just like, yes, that's the type of fun shit that happens when you're underneath a bed with your best friend for fucking 7 hours while someone's trying to light your neck appliance.
Oh my god, the fucking thing came out of the tube. Tasso, blow into that shit. Just put it over your mouth and blow. This is photo flow. Don't worry if some of it gets in your mouth. You'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Just ask Adam Green and Joe Lynch.
For the love of God, don't swallow that shit. Tasso, just swallow it.
He's dead. Wait, is he dead? I think he died in real life. I'm sorry, that was a terrible joke. Oh, damn it.
It doesn't count if we don't know. Tasso's not with us?
Tasso is no longer with us. It takes, 40 years for photo flow to catch up to you, and it got him. Rest in peace. Yeah.
It's just like the asbestos in the Lincoln Heights jail that finally got Wes Craven after all the years of filming Nightmare on Elm Street.
It was the asbestos.
It was. And it's fine, because Wes made that joke himself. Like, we're all in there just sucking up asbestos for like a week, and we're fine.
Yeah. We're A-okay.
Yeah.
The residual effects, however, are not awesome. But, man, yeah, there's so many things in this movie that just are game changers. And they're more so further in the franchise, right? But you already kind of touched on it a little bit, and that is the fact that this is 100% a whodunit. We don't see the killer until we get the official reveal, and there's maybe 17-20 minutes left in the movie when we get the reveal. So all of the creepy stuff that goes on with this movie is POV shots.
Yep.
Or just aftermath, like finding Ned. Spoiler alert: Ned dead in the bed.
Ned's dead,
what,
baby.
What?
Ned's dead.
What in the butt? What in the butt? But because with him, he checks that cabin because he thinks he sees someone go into it, and then we just leave. We don't get a violent attack. We don't get any of that stuff. We just get to find him later in the movie, and I'm not sure if that was officially a creative choice, or if that was a we only have Betsy for X amount of days type of choice. Like, I'm not sure.
I bet it's totally the killer was in another house kind of moment.
Yeah.
You're like, oh fuck, we gotta figure out a way to shoot around this shit. We lost the fucking cabin.
What's the last day? What could go wrong, right?
Yeah, we only got one shot left. What could go wrong? I mean, it's fine. It's nighttime. It's cool. Oh, yep. Shit.
So there's a lot of innovative stuff like that happening in the movie. One of the scenes that always sticks out to me is, and why I always blank on her name, but the girl who goes out to the archery range in the rain. Because she hears that little boy. Spoiler,
I can't remember anybody. Mine is Alice. I don't remember anybody's fucking name, which it goes to, they're just meat to me. I don't really learn anybody's fucking name. Even after all these years, unless I had the IMDb pulled up, I would not have everyone's name down. But yeah, that's a good suspense shot as she's out there on that archery range and she has the lights turned on. She don't know what's going on. It's a fucking heavy-ass rainstorm because, also, spoiler, storms happen in every one of these movies, and storms is a metaphor for the coming of Jason.
Yes, for the death of youth, I suppose. But and that's another great thing in this movie that I wasn't privy to until I think this box set, when this new box set came out, and I started watching some special features and commentaries and things. Now, you might already know this, but are you aware of the reasoning behind all the doors on the cabins being red and the reasoning behind the colors of the raincoats and stuff like that?
I do not.
You don't remember that off the top of your head?
I don't.
Okay, so what the reasoning behind all of those ridiculously bright colored items in the first Friday the 13th is because they didn't have enough money for multiple lights. So they had to dress things up brightly to be caught on camera.
That's fucking clever. I like that.
Yeah. Super smart with like, oh, let's just paint the cabin doors this color. Let's give everybody, bright green or bright yellow or bright red. Like if you go back and watch the movie, even in the daytime, the clothes that they're wearing are ridiculously bright. Let's go back to Kevin Bacon's
Speedo.
blue Speedo. Yeah.
Okay, say Kevin Bacon Speedo 10 times really fast.
That's tough.
Kevin
Beto Speedo. Kevin Beto Speedo.
Got the old Beto Speedo shot coming up.
Yep. But I mean, yeah, there's a ton of really bright colors. Right down to the lifeguard dock thing being painted bright white,
Yeah.
So
yeah, the bathing suits and everything too. The shirts. Even dude who dresses up like an Indian, like even his even his war paint is like excessively bright colored. So yeah, now that you say it, now I'm like picturing like, yeah, all that stuff is fucking really bright. So it's all clicking in my head as you said that.
Yeah, and you know what? There's nothing wrong with using bright colors in your movie.
No, it's finding a way to accentuate your positives and hiding the negatives. We don't have enough money for bright fucking lights. Screw them. Put everyone in bright ass fucking colors, and it'll look brighter by that means instead. Fuck you, we're gonna get around this shit.
Can't shoot in real nighttime? Put some blue lights on everybody.
yeah, just black out those windows. Boom, it's nighttime.
Yep,
we know a thing or two about that.
Like.
Yeah,
Yep.
Looks like dark emptiness.
Yep, definitely does. So there's a lot of weird we have no money tricks in this first Friday the 13th. And that's what's amazing is because they made it on not very much money, and it blew the fuck up. And that was
Well, it pre-blew up because
yeah,
he did not.
Go ahead.
I was like, he wasn't expecting the blow up that he got because he didn't even have a movie idea yet. Cunningham was just like, let's just do a movie called Friday the 13th, and we'll figure out something later. So he bought a fucking ad in Variety. Was it Variety? I think it was.
Full page ad in Variety.
Yeah, full page fucking ad of the most terrifying film ever made, Friday the 13th. And that just got a bunch of buzz going. Like, all right, now what is this movie? Like, shit, now we got to make we got to make
we
this
don't
movie.
Know. Well, and right, because wasn't the movie that he was trying to blow up with a kind of like a Bad News Bears type of ripoff movie?
I recall something about that. Like he hadn't even done any horror movies. Like he'd just done like a soccer film, some like
yeah, that's what it was like.
It
was like a soccer rip on Bad News Bears, and Ari Lehman was in that movie.
That's
I believe.
I believe that's called The Big Green.
Yeah. Whoa, no, that's a different soccer movie.
That stars the great Hambino.
Yes, it does. That's the same guy.
Oh, I thought it was the great Bambi.
Got a baseball autographed by some lady.
But yeah, they had to come up with concepts and make this movie up kind of out of necessity, off like we're gonna, after like half-ass bluffing, like we're gonna make this movie and here it is, and like all right, people are interested now. What do you got? So they just like, all right, now we gotta start writing stuff and making stuff. And I don't know if it's more of the director, writer credit, or if it's more of a Savini credit with who did this. I've tended to like lean more towards Savini, but this movie starts out. This has a high body count, very good, very
for sure.
very healthy body count. But it starts out with these two counselors back in the day that are killed, and it's just like a freeze frame and blows out in white. You don't see nothing happen. And then you see the level of the violence escalate with each kill. And then, of course, the culmination is the very end where we have someone's head taken off by machete on camera. Which is like...
one of the first decapitations to happen on camera.
Yeah, where you like you don't see like the head.
No cutaway.
Yeah, cutaway to a knife, and then the head is off. You see the head come off the shoulders in the shot, which looks like trying to picture in my head seems like the most sketch shit of like filming it, because you see the behind the scenes photos of Tasso, and he's got like his arms and shit through the sweater, and then like on the back of his neck he has the fake head of Pamela Voorhees held with toothpicks in, so he's got to like lean his head down. They got to machete swipe this thing off to make sure they clear the fake head off, and then he's got to put his hands up, like it's searching for the head. I'm just like, just the picture of how the head is attached on his shirt, I'm like, man, I don't know about someone swinging a machete, fake or not, around me like that. Like, are you sure this is cool?
It's like shooting an apple off of someone's head.
Yeah.
And that's the way that they ended up putting that in the movie. And I am not the biggest fan of like fake slow motion like that. The movie The Quest with Jean-Claude Van Damme is guilty of doing it a lot, and it drives me nuts. But for whatever reason, in Friday the 13th, the way that they do that, because they're not cutting away, but it's like they have two images overlaid. The real image of Betsy Palmer with her mouth open, like reacting to the fact that she's about to get chopped, and then it's like 2 or 3 frames of the machete swinging at the head, and it just kind of goes back and forth, so it doesn't dwell on that dummy head getting knocked off. So it doesn't necessarily cut away, but there is a cut. There is a trick in that shot, and
I imagine that was a bitch, like editing that together to make that look like,
because that's reel to reel back in the day. That's not digital editing whatsoever.
Oh my god!
Cut 2 frames. Now put 2 more frames.
The dude doing that probably had one of those cigarettes. It's just like the entire cigarette is just ash, and it's just barely hanging on, and there's an ashtray full of like 900 dead cigarettes in it, and like, almost got it.
You gotta let George Romero edit that. Have you ever seen the Document of the Dead documentary, where it's all about him making Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead?
I never did get to that.
I'll hook you up with that, because it shows him with whatever they call it. They call it I'm gonna butcher it. I want to say a filmola, but I don't think that's the right name.
Yeah, filmola.
Basically like a little piece of metal that, you put the 2 ends of film together, and then it's like a stapler for film. And it shows him like in the editing room, like holding up strips of, like, the zombies getting the pies in the face or whatever, and like taking scissors to him while he's got a cigarette in his mouth, putting it in the little thing and clamping it down, and then playing it on like a little 2-inch monitor.
I'm actually, as you're describing that, I'm just picturing Tyler Durden splicing in that giant dick in the family film. That's all I'm picturing the whole time. Yeah, the audio with that.
They don't know that they saw it,
but they did.
Or whatever.
But they did. Nice.
The kid's crying.
Cock. The audio that always gets me, because you're just seeing all the audience and you're just.
Well, I mean, in this movie, you do get a nice fat cock. It's just in a Speedo. The Beto Pedo Speedo.
Imagine if they had a Bruno type moment where that bacon's just flopping that shit in fucking right in front of the camera.
Okay, so here, let me ask you a question. How old do you think that these counselors are supposed to be in this movie? Are they 20-somethings?
I was going to say like 23.
Okay, because it wasn't until recently when I started rewatching the movies, and Steve Christie he's the owner of the camp, but he kind of has like a thing for Alice.
He's like 39.
And
he's
our age now. It seemed a little weird.
It is.
It seemed a little odd, right? Like hitting on the super wicked young girl, and she's sketching him, and I don't know, dude. I just thought like
he should be more aiming towards one of the fellas with that mustache and neckerchief.
That fucking red neckerchief.
Yeah, like I don't buy him like fucking hanging out at the cafe like that dude's really going into a gay club and just like this is where I really truly belong in those fucking short ass jorts.
He's in the club from Elm Street 2, hanging out with Bob Shea.
He's in Don's place.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, Bob Shea's pouring him a beer into a glass, like a savage.
But he's kind of an odd character, and it never really sunk in until probably, I want to say the past like 3 years of rewatching it. Like, ugh, dude, I don't know. Like, I mean, it's not like he's old, you know what I mean? Like, we're his age, right?
Yeah.
But I think it would be weird. Like, don't you think it would be weird for us to, like, hit on, like, a 22, 23-year-old? Like, it just seems weird. It seems like, really?
it's destined for failure. We have a not a similar situation, but slightly a similar situation around here, because I actually used to work with the gal that is around like early 20s, but she has a fucking awesome head on her shoulder, and she knows how to do shit, and is pretty fucking cool. And she came out and hung out a couple of times, and all like her, me, and the wife were all just like, yeah, there's not like a weird thing or like she feels I'm hitting on her, or the wife feels that she's trying to hook up with me, because we all have the understanding of like, yeah, she's fucking 20. I'm like at least 10 years older. It's like, I don't have the energy, wherewithal, or motivation to even attempt such a thing. I was like, we all understand the reality of all this. Like, yeah, like, okay, she's cool. We don't have to worry about some stupid bullshit.
20-year-old's got that fucking Starbucks and Pilates energy, and I'm like,
yeah,
I'm gonna put my feet hurt.
20-year-olds will party all night and still make their shift in the morning. I'm the dude who just went to a concert, and I want 2 days off afterwards.
It took me like a month after we filmed Tapehead. Like, I'm just now recovering, and we are literally a month out from Tapehead. This is July 6th. Yeah. So, and I'm still like kind of not feeling normal yet. But
I'm really fucked. I just took a 4-day weekend for the 4th of July and I'm about ready to dive back into work, and work's going to be an absolute pain in the ass when I go back. So I'm fucked after today, my friend. Totally fucked.
That is not fun. I do not envy you, sir.
No one does.
So I was gonna bring up another thing about this movie, because like we said, the whole movie is kind of played out in this whodunit fashion. And then we get to this spot in the movie where Alice is kind of fortifying and holding up. And then the famous thing in all Friday the 13th films is a body gets thrown through a window. Every time someone's like fortifying a house and they cut to a wide, you know that the window that's in the shot is about to get obliterated. And the archery range girl, God, I'm sorry, I keep forgetting her name.
I would say the same shit, like the archery range chick.
Mm-hmm. Strip Monopoly girl gets thrown through the window. And there's all these fan theories. We've had a couple people that we've worked at Crypticon with who've come at me really Brody. They come at me really Brody about this, like Mrs. Voorhees was not the only killer. Jason was helping her. And I'm like, that's not true. I don't think so. But, it is kind of weird to think that Mrs. Voorhees could throw a 117-pound woman through a window in the rain,
Fuck that shit. It's a like totally a common misconception with some serial killers that like they're built, kind of like average people, but they're worker strong. They're like they're really
strong.
Yeah, they have core strength in it. So I would, what I would love to do, the price I would pay to get that outside shot of her in the pouring rain is throwing this
on
bitch
3.
Yeah, like she's got a hold of an arm and a leg and just swinging in a circle like a discus throw, like
trying not to fall down in the mud.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
That's why she has that full raincoat suit on. That way she can take all that shit off when she has her reveal where she's spotless. She's not got a bit of dirt or mud on her. Like, yeah, I was totally not throwing that bitch through the window a minute ago.
Oh God, yeah, because that's one of the things that has perplexed me for a hot minute about the movie is her strength. But I'll go with it. I'll go with you saying,
core strength. She has it.
Core strength, psychotic mama strength, whatever you want to call it, because it's not dad strength, because she's not dad. But
she's mom and dad.
Yeah, and it's interesting too. All the stuff that she's able to sneak, and this is, also kind of capitalizes in on that Michael Myers, let me play a trick on people. Let me hide these bodies in strategically fun places, like Mr. Christie falls out of the tree, and
let me
all
play
this
with
stuff.
my food a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because she knows she's down to the last person, so she can kind of fuck around. And
because after this, she's like, who knows how long I have to wait for these fuckers to come back to my camp? Might as well enjoy my work.
Yep. So there is like a really fun cat and mouse aspect to the end of the movie, and it's a great showdown. I've got nothing against it. It's just it doesn't have the oomph.
I love
her with Jason.
I love Pamela Voorhees like grabbing Alice by the back of the head and just like fucking turnbuckle slamming her face into the sand.
Yeah, just beating that ass, dude.
That shit cracks me up every time. I fucking love it.
What's funny is it's sand, so when you watch it, it doesn't look like it hurts that bad, but it's that stuff that doesn't look like it hurts that bad. That's probably
kills.
Because they probably did that for an hour. Like, slam my face into the sand for a while.
Yeah, let's tussle for 60 plus minutes over and over and over again.
With you pulling my hair and slamming my face into the sand. Fuck you.
Because the longer it happens, the sloppier you're gonna get at it. You're not gonna be as reserved and gentile like the fifth time you're doing it. It's gonna be like, oh fuck your face.
Yeah, because it's like 5:30 in the morning and you're starting to hear birds chirp, so you gotta fucking hurry up before the sun comes up over the horizon.
This may be the last take. I'm gonna really slam her face into the fucking ground this time.
Fuck you, bitch!
I'm hungry. I wanna go home. This is my 10th day, last $1,000. I'm getting my new car. I'm out of this bitch.
Well, we spent almost, what do we have? We're like 47 minutes rambling about the movie, and we didn't really cover as much as we would like to.
That's just going to be the motif for the next 13 weeks, is we're not going to get to everything, but we're assuming if you were listening to this, like we have with all of our movies we review, we don't do like a play-by-play review. We're just going to highlight some things here and there because we're going to assume, for the most part, you've seen what we've seen. Mm-hmm. And even if not, we have not given us so much away that it wouldn't still be intriguing to watch it. Yeah, we spoiled the killer on this, but fuck it.
Deal with it. But all right, so since we're done kind of rambling, I suppose it's time to do a little something.
It is. We praise this movie, even though it's our probably least. It is our least watch of the franchise, so it doesn't get as much rotation as some of the other ones. But we still enjoy this movie. We give it its props. But that's not all we do around here. We can't give stuff props all day. We can't just show the shiny side of things. We got to show the ugly, ass-in, pimply shit that no one wants to look at. We got to look at the dark side. We got to look at the Amazon 1-star reviews.
Hated it.
All right, so we got a few for Friday the 13th here. One, oh man, I almost have to. I feel so accented as a necessity for this one, just off the username. This is from R. Woodsworth.
Oh no, he's got a neckerchief.
On April 26, 2020, 1 star, uninspired, overhyped Alfred Hitchcock ripoff. I absolutely do not understand why this movie has received such accolades. The story plods on. The acting is amateurish, and it's not particularly scary. A lot of core ideas were taken from other movies. Don't waste your time and money on this.
Well, fine. If that's the way you feel, just forget it.
You can go eat a dick, R. Woodsworth. Mm-hmm. All right, next on.
Bitch.
That's a huge bitch. Next one up, we got old Matthew Gimble. Matthew Gimbel on these are like super recent too. October 6th, 2020. And it's all people watching that Shout Factory.
Got that new boy.
Yeah, they spent all that coin to bitch about it. But Matty Gimbel says 1 star, pure garbage, not in a campy way. If you saw this earlier in your life, I can understand the nostalgia factor, but as a 33-year-old watching this movie for the first time in 2020, it is undoubtedly one of the worst horror movies ever made. 100% pure garbage from start to finish. There's literally no single piece of positive feedback I can give.
Wow, okay. Jesus Christ, dude. First timer. Okay.
First timer, man. All right, next up we got Cristo Haya. Or here, I don't know.
Here, over here.
Cristo here on January 20th, 2016. He says 1 star, Jason Voorhees should cut off his own head or the head of everyone in the audience. A fast death beats this dude.
Wow.
You know,
I don't know if he actually watched it because, Jason didn't cut anybody's heads off in the movie.
Well, and his name is Jason Voorhees, but he says Jason Voorhees.
Voorhees.
Only 1 O, so it's Voorhees. I watched this when I was a younger person. The acting in this is about as bad as any movie I've ever seen. The girl getting killed in the first half hour made no sense at all. The cop on the motorcycle could have been the worst actor in this galaxy.
Just wait.
Yes, just hold on for 4 more movies and then let me know what you think. Next up, this is a super articulate one. There's a bunch of really super short ones that are just quick and to the point, like Will here on May 3rd, 2018. He says 1 star, no.
Nah.
Then we got Doreen Skeen. On January 16, 2019, she says 1 star, yuck, terrible.
All right.
Then we have Randy Hyatt on February 22nd, 2020. He says 1 star, not really, wow.
Not really, wow. That's a good one.
This is the cruel joke one. This is David Eubank. I feel bad for old David. David on November 21st, 2020 says 1 star, no disc in it.
Oh, shut down.
I hadn't opened it in fire a while after purchase. When I did, there was no disc inside.
I'm sad for you.
Man, can you imagine, I bought that movie and then it sat on my shelf. Sat on my shelf for months, and I'm like, all right, I'm finally gonna get to it. Way past when you could possibly return that shit or claim something's wrong. You're like, God damn it.
It's $100 to return it though. But
it is. It's a pretty penny.
But dude, I feel for the dude, but I'm very weird about new movies. Like when I purchase a new movie, first of all, before I even get home, the cellophane is gone.
Yep.
It's opened. I'm looking at it. So he didn't look. That sucks. Yeah,
we essentially treat our new movies just like toys. Like that shit is opened in the car before we're going, before the keys even hit the ignition. Yeah.
Yep.
We have nowhere to,
and then
nothing to do with it. Where we're still like, I gotta see it.
Yep. And then also, what I do, especially if I go on a big movie hunt and I buy multiple movies, I bring them right home and sit them next to my Blu-ray player, and I just chip away.
Yep.
I scan them into my CLZ app so I know that I have them, and it stores them alphabetically. But then I'll watch one, and then I'll take it and put it on the shelf. And then I'll watch one and take it, put it on the shelf. So I don't know how long you waited, homie, to watch Friday the 13th, but that's on you, I guess.
9 months. All right.
Wow.
Got a few more here. Next on up is Vera on December 2nd, 2020. Oh, Vera. Vera says 1 star. Sucked. This movie sucks.
The third one better.
Next on up, Amazon customer. So we have Rondell Branch coming back. Tell us more about his movies. He says on December 8th, 2020. 1 star. Blah, not scary at all. And then the our final 1 star, my favorite of the bunch for Friday the 13th, the original. Everything about this, I love this. This is from God's Chosen.
Oh boy.
June 23rd, 2021.
What? Okay,
So-
very, very close.
Fucking a few weeks ago, God's Chosen told us 1 star, too much profanity and sexuality.
He said that God chose him. What?
That doesn't even make sense, really. What do you mean you can't find him? Where is he?
Crazy person? to kill us at camp?
I was like, you actually hired a crazy person. Well, that's unfair to me.
Excellent. Well, I suppose now that we're done with our Amazon 1-star reviews, that can only mean one thing. What does that mean, Evil?
That means it's time. It's not Vader time, but it is time to play the game.
It's time to play the game. Time to play the game.
It's all about the game, and how you play it, it's all about that you're all doomed and gonna die.
Oh, yeah. It's got a death curse.
It's got a death curse, and now you can't take it.
You're going to Camp Blood, ain't ya? Can I just...
Oh, if we could have...
Can I just have Crazy Ralph? Can he just be my prop?
Can I have
Gorney?
Can I have Crazy Ralph replaced by Lemmy?
You're going to Camp Blood, ain't ya? It's got a death curse. There's legend around here. All about it roll, and now you can take it. Ain't many saying they seen him, and they don't know where he is.
just starts making shit up. All right, so for the people at
what
home
he
who
does.
don't really know what this is, brief plot synopsis is the fact that we pick a prop from the movie, but it cannot be a well-known prop. So you can't say, I would take Mrs. Voorhees' sweater. That's bullshit. That's low-hanging fruit. So pick something
Think of it like a-
weird, deep-cutty.
Think of it like a point system. You're like, I want Pamela Voorhees sweater, 1 point. But if you're like me, and I'm gonna say, I'm gonna take Christie's neckerchief, 20 points.
Boom. That's excellent. Is that what you want? That's your prop?
That's what I'm gonna take. I was kind of torn between taking that or the Indian headdress.
Yes.
It was almost too obvious. But you were saying Crazy Ralph. I did almost decide on for a long time. I was leaning towards Ralph's bike.
Oh, that's a good one. Or his weird ass fishing hat.
The fishing hat.
Well,
I'm like, I fuck it. I'm gonna go with the bike because I get close from everybody. Because like I could have taken the neckerchief, or I was thinking you could easily go with the bacon speedo. I'm sure there's some DNA left in that fucking thing. But no,
Taking the beach cruiser, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna one I borrowed a couple weeks ago. One I've been asking you about.
Oh,
It's
that
my
is
bike,
excellent.
punk. Push Ralph off of that shit. It's my bike.
That's my bike, pump. Oh, that's a glorious one. Well, you already outed me on that because we spent 20 minutes talking about it. So my prop is the Kevin Bacon Speedo. Because
You picked the Speedo. I'm glad I looked at that and I was like,
why would you not? You know.
because you could probably
Not that
you could pull DNA out of there and make your own Kevin Bacon.
Yes. And that's how Hollow Man 3 would start.
Yeah, we just call
Not
them
2, because that's got Christian Slater in it.
We just call them bacon bits. Make little Kevin Bacon
Perfect.
bits. If he doesn't call his kids bacon bits, then Kevin Bacon is just not being a good parent.
Yeah, he's a failure. Loser, if you will.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, we spent basically an hour. We both picked some awesome props. So if you're listening to this, make sure you leave us a comment on our Patreon or somewhere, because you can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us in our Discord. All these places that you can join us and hang out with us and let us know what prop you would take from the original Friday the 13th.
Yeah, let us know your prop. Let us know any Friday the 13th stories you have. Maybe going to see any of these movies in the theater, memories. And if we get any cool like audio bits ones, maybe we can put some into the show if anyone is willing to drop any audio bits of their tellings of going to see this movie or their first experiences or whatnot. That'd be kind of interesting to get some outsiders' perspectives on any listeners of the franchise, what they think. putting the gauntlet down. I want somebody, at least one person, to send us an audio clip, a short little audio clip of some Friday the 13th memory they have.
Yes, any of the films, because, like Evil said, we're covering them all.
Yeah, we're going to hit every damn one, and if it's one for part 7, we'll wait till we get to part 7 to play it, but we will play it.
Yes, but on that note, I suppose we should probably get going, because, after all, there's a lot of movies out there, and somebody's got to watch them, so why not us, right?
Join us next week when the body count continues.